2027, Bluey will arrive in theaters, but the new season is expected to premiere before that with new characters. But do we already know who Bluey's new friends are? Monkeys. Do you remember the episode that takes place at the movie theater? In that story, we discovered something fantastic, that there are other types of animals besides dogs that behave like people in the Bluey universe. Our information points out that those little monkeys who appear in the movie might be back in the new season to study at the same school as Bluey. Wow, but isn't that strange? Actually, no. From what we found out, season 4 of Bluey may focus on bringing in new types of animals like cats and monkeys that we know exist. Those two monkey actors might be traveling from their country to Australia, and the two of them will become good friends with Bluey. And that's pretty cool, right? We'll have to wait to find out more, whether this is just a theory or something confirmed by Ludo Studios, which is the producer of the series. But until then, so grab your popcorn and get comfy on the couch. Another Cinewave is starting. Pinky. There is a very interesting theory that appeared on the internet in recent days. It talks about a little dog named Pink who is a distant cousin of Bluey and lives on the other side of Australia. This little dog could be a distant relative of Chili who will appear in the new season. Pinky is not exactly a child. This character is already reaching adulthood and is a very funny character. Pinky is Chili's older cousin who will visit the healers for the same reason as Ant. She wants to fulfill a dream. We know that Chili's sister only found the strength to try to have a pup once again because she went to meet Bluey and Bingo. Bluey's new cousin also has a dream, and it must have something to do with her job. Pinky is a field hockey player, Chili's favorite sport, but she received an offer to play on a team outside the country. Everyone knows that Bluey and Bingo are brave and love an adventure, and of course the little dogs will give Pinky the courage she needs to go live in another country. This is going to be a super interesting episode. Cookie. In the episode, we discovered that Frisky has a colleague named Cookie. Chili calls her because she needed to know whether Bluey's godmother had run back home after she leaves and says that she is no longer going to marry Bandit's brother. Cookie should be the character who will appear in the next season because it is almost certain that Frisky will get pregnant, and Cookie will probably be the godmother of her daughter. Maybe you wonder why Frisky wouldn't choose Chili, who is her best friend, but Mrs. Healer will be busy taking care of her new nephew who is about to be born. Because of that, get ready to meet Frisky's other best friend, the character Cookie, Bosco. Still talking about Frisky, there is a character that everyone wants to meet, but maybe they shouldn't. We're talking about Bosco, the ex-boyfriend of Bluey's new aunt. This character was the love of Frisky's life for a long time, but the two of them ended up breaking up. But there are people who think that this story isn't over yet. And yes, that creates a huge doubt because Frisky is married. That's why Bosco is going to turn into a villain. He will probably appear in the Healer family movie, which is coming to theaters. Some fans believe that Bosco didn't want to end his relationship with Frisky and didn't like that she got married, so he is angry and will try to ruin the happiness of our heroes. Of course, none of this will work out in the end, but it is still an important new thing for the series, because until now there have been no villains in the Bluey universe. But what changed? It's very simple to answer. The movie that is scheduled to arrive in 2027 will be more than 1 hour long, and because of that, a big problem needs to be solved. That problem needs a villain, just like all movies, so in the new season, we will have the debut of a villain arriving in the series. Because of that, Bosco should be the character who is upset with the healers. But what do you think about that? Would you like to see a villain in the Bluey universe? Comment the hashtag Bluey so we can get to know each other. Friend. Do you know Bucky Dunen? This character was Bandit's childhood friend and was the real estate agent who would help Mr. Healer sell the house at the end of season 3. This character will return thanks to a very interesting theory. It says that Bandit's childhood friend will fall in love with Wendy, the Healer family's neighbor. Maybe the two of them met that morning when the Healers were about to move. The idea is that the two of them will start dating, and then Bucky Dunen will move next door to the Healer's house and become Bluey's new neighbor. And of course, Judo will finally have a new dad. Dusty. A character who will definitely gain much more space in this new season is Dusty, Rusty's younger sister. This little dog is already reaching the age to go study at Miss Retriever's school, and because of that, we can expect her to get a lot of focus. But that's not all. Dusty seems to like sports in the same way as her siblings, and because of that, in the next season, it is very possible that she will be a female version of Rusty as the best cricket player in the class. And of course, she will also be part of a new group of dogs that is ready to live many adventures adventures, but we'll talk about that a little later. Lulu. Lulu is Jack Russell's younger sister. This character is also at the age to study at Miss Retriever's school, and you know what that means, right? This little dog will be Dusty's best friend in the same way that both of their brothers are friends. Jack and Rusty will definitely introduce the two of them. But for the group to be complete, one little dog is missing, don't you think? Of course, we're talking about Socks, Bluey's cousin, who should join the other two for many adventures. Lulu is going to be a very sensitive little dog because most likely she has the same condition as her brother, ADHD. Will we learn a little more about this with her? For sure, yes. Luke. Do you know who Luke is? That's the name fans are giving to Chloe's famous brother, the Dalmatian who has appeared since season 1 but has never really been part of any story. It's more than time for Chloe's brother to get some space in the series, so who knows, maybe he'll join the new episodes. Luke must be too young to study with the older little dogs, but it might be interesting to see him grow up alongside the show's new babies. What do you think about that? We'll find out when the new episodes arrive on Disney. The subscribe button is right there, waiting for you. How about clicking and keeping up with everything we post? Alfie. Do you remember Alfie? He was the character who started working at the toy store in town, the same place where Bluey and Bingo bought Muffin's birthday present in Silent Game. Alfie is a character who needs to come back because in the world of Bluey, toys are very important, and most episodes show our little dogs needing them. It's more than time for the girls to make another visit to the store where Alfie works, and maybe we'll find out that he was promoted to a more important position at the toy store. What do you think about that? Brian. It's been a long time since Bluey fans have wanted to meet Brian. You don't know who he is? We're talking about Calypso's husband, Bluey's teacher. This character doesn't have an official name, but it's the name fans are using for him now for some reason. The idea that Calypso is so good with children is because most likely she's also a mother, one of the best mothers in the world. So if her husband exists, fans believe he will appear in the next season. And you know why, right? Bluey is growing up. Calypso won't be her teacher for much longer, and it's time to change classes. Brian could be the teacher who will continue teaching the little dog. Could he be a teacher who also has magical powers? We'll find out in the next seasons. Busker. We know you were waiting for us to talk about Busker. He's one of the characters who will gain a lot of space in the next season. That's because he will become Bluey's music teacher. How do we know that? It's simple. Our little dog loves taking new classes. In the episode Swimming Lesson, we discovered that Bluey learned how to swim, while in the episode Bin Night, we find out that the protagonist knows karate. And do you think Bluey won't learn anything new in the upcoming episodes? Our bet is that she'll want to learn how to play a musical instrument, and who better than Busker to teach her? Here we go! Ex-girlfriend. You know that ex-girlfriend of Cornelius who was standing next to him in the episode Silent Game? The same one who was also with another dog in front of the post office in the episode Dance Mode? This character could definitely get a bit more space, don't you think? Of course, now that her relationship with Winton's dad has ended, she shouldn't continue the story having anything to do with him, but that's not exactly it. In the movie theater episode, we see a movie poster that shows an actor who looks a lot like Cornelius, so we believe he's an actor. Would it be too crazy to imagine that this ex-girlfriend is also a famous actress? She could appear as the star of a show that the little dogs like to watch on television. That would be pretty interesting. What do you think about that? Dougee. Of course, everyone really wants to see Dougee, the little dog with a hearing disability, back in the series. Many fans have started making theories about his future alongside Bingo. He seems like the kind of little dog who could be a future boyfriend for the Red Healer, but of course, the two of them are still very young. He also needs to come back because it's more than time for us to find out what happened to that turtle-shaped toy the two of them were fighting over. What was its name again? Turtle Boy, a toy that Bingo always wanted. It was probably Dougee who took it home, and he must lend his toy to Bingo. What do you think about that?
Yes, excellent!
Winnie. Do you remember Winnie? She appears only once in the episode Cafe, when Bluey and Bandit spend a few days at the city park. Bandit made a good friendship with the little dog's dad, and the most interesting part is that in the end, they were the ones who had the most fun. What's interesting is that Winnie unfortunately never appeared again in other episodes, even though everyone thought she would become a great friend of Bluey. Who wouldn't think that? An entire episode was built around that idea, but in this new season, Winnie will have a much bigger role because Bluey is growing up, and that means spending more time with new friendships. Will Winnie become a closer friend to Bluey than Chloe and Coco? We'll have to wait for the next season to find out, but until then, stick with us. Enjoying it? Then click one of the two videos we left on the screen and keep going with us. See you next time!